Are you tired of boring PowerPoint presentations created by your students? In this tutorial you will learn about 6 different tools your students can use to create exciting tutorials. After watching this tutorial you'll be ready to create your tutorials using these 6 easy-to-use apps. I'm Emma from TellinAmi. Students can record their voice for a created character and background to share information.
You just saw Gami from the app TellinAmi. In TellinAmi, students can create a character to resemble the person that they are studying about. So if you click on character, you can change the gender, skin tone, shape of their head, eyes, hair, their clothing. You can change the emotion of the character and change the background. Some of these things you do have to pay to unlock, but there are free options in each of those areas. Then you just click back and record your voice to say whatever you want the character to say. And then you share, and your TellinAmi is complete. The next app I'm going to show you is the first of the 5 whiteboard apps that I'm going to show you, and it's called ScreenChomp. ScreenChomp is the most simplistic of the 5 whiteboard apps. With this app, you can use the pens down at the bottom of the screen, and you can draw what you want to explain and record as you draw it. So if I wanted to create a problem and say 2x equals 6, to solve that problem, I would divide both sides by 2 to get x equals 3. And say 2x equals 6. To solve that problem, I would divide both sides by 2 to get x equals 3. And then I can share that, and it has sent it to the camera roll. With this app, you can also change the background. You can choose something from your library or your camera roll. You can choose something from Dropbox if you have a Dropbox account, or you can take a picture with your iPad to make the background. And when I'm done, I can click here to erase my board. Educations is another whiteboard app. This is a little bit different than ScreenChomp because you can have more than one page in your explanation. So up at the top I can change my color of my writing tool. I can also include text, which is different than in ScreenChomp. And again, I can include a picture, either from the camera, by taking a picture with my camera, the photos in my camera roll, from my Dropbox account, or I can search the web. So let's say that I want a picture of a flower, and I'll choose this one. It'll put it right in for me, and I can adjust where I would like it. Then maybe my explanation is going to be about the different parts of a flower, so I could hit record. And this is a petal. And notice that my recording is paused while I type in the text. Okay, and this is, oops, the stem, and so on and so forth, and keep recording through until I'm finished. Down at the bottom, you can duplicate the page or you can change to a different background. Right now we have white paper. I could change it to lined paper, graph paper for math, or coordinate grid for math. And then I can click on done when I'm finished, and I can either save the lesson or start over. So if I save the lesson, I might call this parts of a flower. And then I can either make it private or public. I'm going to choose private. Subject area, we'll put science, and save. At that point, you can either create a free account or log in if you already have one. And this is going to put it into an Educreations account, which you can then access from a computer. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and cancel. And then it will save it on my iPad only. Doceri has a feature unlike any of the other apps I've shown you so far. With Doceri, you can access the files from your desktop. All you have to do is download Doceri to your desktop, which can be done through the app on the iPad. For now, I'm going to create a new project in Doceri. Unfortunately, you can't see all of the features on the top toolbar, but in this project, I could take a picture from my camera roll, and let's say that your students are studying explorers, and you want them to show you the path that an explorer took on their journey. So with the pen, they could draw where the explorer went. There are other pens they could use to show stops along the way where important events occurred. You could highlight the states in which they visited. There is a straight line tool, a framing tool, and a circle tool. And then if you make a mistake, there is an eraser tool you can use. Again, you can record as you draw, and this can be saved as a PDF. Next up is the app called Show Me. Show Me has a lot of the same features as the other whiteboard apps I've shown you so far. There are a couple of differences, and I'll point those out as I go. So on this whiteboard app, you can choose a photo from your camera roll, take a picture, search images on the web, or choose a background. So let's go ahead and choose a background first. So I'm going to choose the gray background, and now I'm going to search the web for an image. Let's say that your students are studying about inventors. So I'm going to search for Thomas Edison, and I have 45 images available for my use. So I'm going to go ahead and choose one, and I can move it around the page, send it to the back or the front. If I decide I don't want it, I can delete it or rotate it. I'm just going to go ahead and click on Done. If I want to move the picture, I hold my finger on it, and then I can slide it around, and when I have it where I want it, again, I can choose Done. For your different colors of your writing tools, if you click on the plus button, you can see there are several different color schemes that you can choose from. But I like the one we have, so I'll go ahead and check that again. And so your students, when they're recording, they might say, Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb, he invented the electric light bulb. So I paused it and I'm finished, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Save Show Me. When you do that, it will play back what you have recorded, and then you can click on Save and give your project a title. You need to choose at least one topic, so I'll choose history and then say done adding topics. The nice thing about this app is that you can create accounts for your students even if they don't have email addresses. So that's great for elementary students that don't usually have email addresses. So that's a nice feature. Otherwise, on this page, you will log into your account or create a new account where all of your projects will then be saved. The last app I'm going to show you today is called Explain Everything. This app costs $2.99, but well worth every penny. The first thing you'll do when you start a project is choose a color template. So I'm going to just choose this one. Let me show you some of the features that this app has that you didn't see in some of the other apps. I can draw on here like the other apps, but I can also put in arrows or other shapes. We've got circles, squares, lines, stars. I can also put in a text box. I can insert a picture or a video that I already have on the iPad. I can insert a file. I can insert a new browser. So students could show you from a website what they want to explain. You can import a picture, a video, and a sound. So I'm going to use the X button to delete that, to move that out of the way. There is a laser pointer, so you can highlight certain areas while you are explaining. Here I can set this arrow to rotate. I can also group images together. And then when I move these, they now move together. I can also here duplicate, copy, and paste things. I can also move things to the front or the back, and I can lock things in place. The arrow is the back button. I can use the magnifying glass to zoom in and out. And I can use the last icon to hide the menu bar. And then, of course, we have the different colors in our theme that we chose. Also, we can add additional pages and record our sound. Some other things that you can do with this app, you can export your project once you've completed it to the camera roll, which you can do with most of the other projects. You can also save it as a photo, send it to your mail. You can export it as a PDF to your iBooks, or you can send it to other areas like Dropbox or Evernote. You can also export it as a movie, either to your camera roll, to YouTube, or another storage area that you have, or save it to explain everything. And then you can click home to start a new project.
You have just seen 6 interactive apps that students can use to share information and create tutorials. Now you're ready to go download these apps and get started creating your own sample tutorials. Happy creating!